Hello, Miss Chelsea.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, some beautiful
Mm.
magic happening today. God, there's been so much motion with this flower moon
Mm.
this week than I've ever had for my productivity. It's crazy.
Mm.
Hello, Lou. It's great to see you, hon. Ragnhild, oh, it's great to see you back. Leo, hello. Wonderful. Okay. Some magic. Joanna is coming in as well. I would love to hear from some of y'all. How are you doing this morning, evening, or afternoon? How you doing, Lou? I'd love to hear from you, hon. Say again. Can you hear me? Are you frozen? I think she might be frozen. Maybe?
Yeah. You hear me?
Yes, I got you. How you doing, Lou?
Yeah. Yeah. You caught me. Like it's 10:30 here in Bali, and I just moved from a beautiful, isolated place along the sea to the craziness of Ubud, and
Mm.
I kind of been dancing for 5 hours tonight, which was really nice. But a lot of energy is coming through, and I've been working on this new project, hosting a retreat in Bali, and I met a friend of mine. And yeah, things didn't really go as planned, but that's how life is. And I'm really taking the full moon opportunity and vibes to just state my truth with no harm for anybody, but just put there that some stuff are, yeah, some stuff needs to change. But I think you know that, just don't you? So
Indeed.
yeah, that's who I am today.
It's beautiful to hear from you. The message that you shared in the reflection of like what would your future self say? That interaction, oh my God. That was like the most soul enriching thing that I have ever heard come from a human being. I shared it with my whole family. I was like, Mom, you got to read this. It made my mom cry. It made my mom cry. Just so you know, you made my mom cry. Thanks. Um, it was really, really sweet. So thank you for that. And that's we could not be more empowered to help serve in that way, to be that witnessing masculine presence without prescribing and just being able to be here and be present and try to balance each other's polarities. It's such a special thing. So I just wanted to send you all of that love been pouring through me all weekend. Anyways, welcome my little group of philosophers who love showing up here relentlessly. I really appreciate all of you. We're going through a major restructuring, as I have mentioned over the past weeks. Um, this Monday call has obviously become a very intimate space for us to check in and be witnessed by each other and to be in a much more intimate space. Thor is going to be hosting in the coming weeks a new call inside of this free community. That's going to be more of that fiery energy, and this is going to turn into more of the intimate space where like it already is basically, where we take a chance to look at what's happening in the world, look at what's happening within us, to be witnessed and to witness each other, right? And then to talk about those things, bring in some of that practical philosophy to talk about New Earth and what it actually is. So that's going to be this space because your boy loves philosophy, not just reading books and sitting in his tower, but getting to work and being those philosopher warriors, the ones who lead by example. And that's all of you who have stepped onto this journey and this path. You're all showing up leading by example, and I'm extremely proud of all of you. And it's an honor to be in this space with you. So yeah, today is going to be a little exploration into that. Of course, we've got a tight group, and anytime it's tight like this, I want to hear from everyone. But before we do, I would like to drop into a little meditation. Now, I've led for the past few weeks, and truthfully, I would love to have someone else lead the meditation today. If anybody feels inspired, feel free to raise your hand. Anybody feeling courageous? Right. nobody's feeling inspired, then I'll take it away. Oh, Nahal, Chelsea nominated you, Nahal. Would you like to lead today, brother?
I'd love to step up to the task, but
Mm.
I don't think I'd be able to do a great job meditating on the fly. I can try.
What is meditation if you cannot meditate in action, my friend? Meditation is nothing but a healing state to come back to the present moment, right? It is not something we must do. It is simply our natural state of being. It is to forget. So give it your best shot, brother. All we can ask is for your best. It's all you can ever ask of yourself.
All right.
I love you, man. Take it away.
Thank you for holding space for me. I hope you guys yeah, just flow with me here. Ah, I actually really needed like a space to reconnect with myself as well because there's been a lot that's been going on in this side of the world. So Um, I'm honored to do this with all of you guys. I invite everybody in the space to just maybe sit up a little straight, lengthen your spine, just fix your posture with ease and grace and love for holding you throughout the day. You can gently close your eyes. Let's just take a deep breath and really fill in your entire body, fill in your stomach and your lungs and all of that with this beautiful air that we get to breathe. And collectively, we can let it out. We'll just take three more breaths as a collective. As you continue to keep your eyes closed, I invite you to keep gently breathing 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, and just draw your attention to the beauty of this container that we all get to share today on this Monday evening. As you're taking a breath, as you breathe in, you take in all of the wisdom and the experience of all of everybody that they bring to this circle here, all of their collective life's experience and their journeys and their love and their wisdom. And you're just breathing that in. And with each exhale, we're going to breathe out all of the worries, the doubts of today, the anxiety, the overwhelm, the fear. We're going to channel this breath in and just do a quick body scan. So we'll start way down to our little tiny toes. You can just wiggle them and say hello and breathe right to your toes. And with each breath, just say, I love you and I thank you. We'll start with the toes and up to your beautiful feet, to your heels, to your shins. Just feel the vibrations tingling in each part of your body, to your knees, to your thighs, to your beautiful bum that you're sitting on right now. So say thank you, to your root of your spine, up to your stomach, and all of the beautiful digestive organs that continuously bring in energy into your body, to your sacral center, up to your ribs and your heart that's so full of love, to your shoulders and your arms and your elbows and your fingers. We thank you. We love you. Up to our throat, to our chin, to our lips, to our nose, into our eyes, and lastly to our crown. With this breath, we breathe in to the full extent of our body. And just take a moment now to connect with your heartbeat. If you want, you can place a hand over your chest and just breathe into that and just feel the heart that pulsates, this heart that beats life into your body, this heart that fills you up with love and brings you into this container, this heart that beats the mission that you live every day, this heart that helps you show up with grace and love and empathy, and this heart that helps you see beyond what the eyes can see. Take a moment to just thank this beautiful little heart. Just feel it beat. And just know that as we each hold our hearts collectively, we're all just one big heart beating together, all here for the same mission of making this world a better place and just showing up as we are in our truth, in our vulnerability, in our authenticity, in our love, in our heart space. And with that, we take one last collective breath. As one unified being, we breathe in the longest breath that you have taken today. Breathe it out really slowly. With this breath, you let go of all that can be let go of. And you breathe in all that you wish to be. That is my prayer for us, from my heart to yours. Namaste. Thank you.
That was really beautiful, bro. That was really beautiful. Hope you're giving yourself a little pat on the heart right now because that was an amazing meditation.
Thank you.
Send our boy some love, please. Send our boy some love. In real life, you could affirm with eye contact, but we're thousands of miles apart, so send some love. Proud of you, bro,
Actually,
for that.
actually felt my heartbeat increase when I said touch, like, just put your hand on your heart. I could feel my heart like pulsate faster as I was speaking. So I thought that was very beautiful. Felt very alive.
Powerful, man. Oh, feeling very grounded and centered. How's everybody feeling? Good? Thumbs up? Good? Yes. Beautiful. Yes, Ragnhild, keep both hands on the wheel. All right. So there's a lot on my mind today, and I want to open up the space for some quick shares first, but I want to set the stage of what we're going to be talking about. Me and Nahal just had a drop in with some of the things that are going on in India and between India and Pakistan right now, and it brought forward a very powerful reflection. And I also have something I want to share with you guys. You'll be the very first ones to see. I've been working on a project that I would like to share with you here, at least in its infancy, so that you can start getting excited about it because it will be a gift to all of you very soon. So we will dive into both of those things. The project, in short, is NEA, New Earth Authentic Intelligence, otherwise known as NEO. The AI model helped to empower you to escape the matrix, not deepen your dependency on it. I'm building out an AI model to quite literally empower you as a creator and as a creative that will know you from your astrology, from your human design, from the deepest depths of your personality and your story. And then we'll reflect that back to you with guardrails built in to not infringe on your creative sovereignty, asking you questions rather than just spewing you answers. And it will really be architected with virtue, with integrity, with the cardinal virtues of human behavior. So I've written up until this point 26 pages of that code, and I'm embodying, building Neho to give to you here very, very soon. And you'll be able to use it to make everything from a brand strategy to content maps to just simply upgrading your GPT model to be able to be in integrity with virtue. There'll be a teach mode, a serve mode, and a learn mode, right? So you'll be able to a you'll be able to teach your model. You can have it really, really orient everything to teach you in learning mode what it is basically sharing with you, taking you in depth into the process and the philosophy of what you're creating and empowering you more as a creative. And then serve mode will be back to just taking quick action. But yeah, really excited to share that with you all today. Um, oh, we got Jordan in here too. I'm excited to see him. He just joined. He's the I don't know if you all know the game Portal, but Jordan's profile picture is the cube of compassion. It's a fun little game archetype thing. It's all about you have the cube of compassion. You're invincible because you have the power of love. Pretty cool. Anyways, but yeah, we will jump into that. Welcome, Jordan. Good to see you, Mushroom Man.
Oh, thank you. Well, good morning, everyone,
It's a pleasure to have you,
or
brother.
whatever time it is for everybody.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We just got done with our little intro and a meditation. It's nonetheless, it is beautiful to have you here. So I would encourage you to just take a moment to get embodied, take a breath, drop into the space, and yeah. And also, if you're in the meeting room and you don't have your camera on and you feel inspired to turn it on, I would love to see you. I really, really would. No matter where you're at, unless your phone is just in your pocket, then do yourself and your phone battery favor, leave it off. But I would love to see all of you. Okay, on that note, I would love to do some a round of shares, a round of hot potato like we usually do it here, and then whatever time is left on the back end, we'll talk about some new Earth philosophy, and that'll be fun. That's right. That's okay. If you're having technical problems, don't worry about it. It's not a mandatory thing. Just want to see your beautiful faces. So we're gonna go hot potato as we usually do. I'm pretty sure y'all all know how this works by now. We're gonna start with one thing that you're really proud of for you this week, something that you celebrated. Give yourself a true pat on the heart and have the opportunity to truthfully celebrate the work that you've put in this week. It's a new moon. Sorry, it's a full moon. We're here to amplify that. So step into that celebratory energy. Really, I want to lean into that this week with you. And then if you feel inspired to share something that you're moving through right now, to be witnessed in that, please do as well. I would like to keep it tight today. So set yourself a little 2-minute timer so that as you move through that, we still have room on the back end for everybody to do some triad shares as well. Maybe do some breakout rooms and reflect on some of the things that we're going to be talking about. But we'll pop off the hot potato. I'd like to hear from someone else and then have you pass it back to me. I like experiment with the idea of somebody else initiating this space rather than me. And I would like to hear from you first, Chelsea, then hot potato it over to me, and I'll pick the next person.
Hello, hello. Let's see. I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good this
Yeah.
past week. Um, I think my wins is that I've gone really deep into my service and I've been sitting there and seeing amazing results from my clients and really sitting in gratitude for that. And if you don't know what I do, I am a trauma-informed EFT tapping practitioner, and I use that modality to help others kind of unravel trauma in the body and the emotional body. And this affects the physical body and the mental body as well. So it's a really holistic spectrum of healing. And yeah, so I had two big wins with clients this week. One was a huge one, actually, someone from this group who we did EFT tapping on Wednesday, and she hadn't had a dream for like over a decade. And she was really working on that and kind of trying to unpack that for herself. And we just did one of my simple EFT tapping rounds, and that night she had a dream. So that just speaks to the safety that EFT tapping can create in the subconscious. And it was just beautiful for her to hear that and to she's been working on that for a long time. And EFT tapping was like that last little key that helped her open that up. So that was beautiful. And then another one is actually about to quit her job, and she's been feeling for a while that she wanted to quit her job, and she's actually been a private client of mine for almost 4 months now. And we have unraveled a lot of subconscious beliefs and old patterns in her nervous system around safety. And she finally, last week, felt safe enough to jump into a new opportunity that feels really aligned and not forced. And yeah, she's going to be able to quit her job here soon. So just big wins for my clients, which for me just drops me into so much gratitude in the gift that I'm able to help others with. And then a challenge, it's kind of a challenge and a win, but a challenge is that I had to turn down a prospective client because I was able to see that she was very much in crisis mode and looking for a savior. And that's not the type of work that I do. I very much am a reflection for people to activate the healer within them and to guide them through that process. And so, through a discovery call, even though I really have a lot of empathy for what she's going through, I had to refer her to someone else because it was very obvious that things were out of control in her life, and she was kind of gripping to find someone to take the reins for her. And that's not what I do. It's not in integrity with what I do, and I believe that everyone is their own healer. So that was a huge challenge for me because, of course, I want to help people, and I can see like so clearly where some old beliefs and childhood traumas were at play, but she wasn't ready to be the healer for herself. And so being able to sit back and see that clearly and be able to try to give her another resource it was a win for sure, but it was a growth edge for me. So it was really challenging. But yeah, that's mine.
Huh. Proud of you. That's amazing. That is not an easy choice to make. And that's the test. Abundance, abundance, abundance. Can you handle it? Are you still in integrity? Right? That is such a moment to be proud of, Chelsea. Because as a healer, right, you are not a savior. Right? That is the wound that has been embedded to us through religion for eons now, is that we need a savior when the only one powerful enough to save us is ourselves. And I really commend you for having the space and the confidence and the inner knowing to be like to put up the boundary, because what she did not need anything from you. She needed to continue going out to learn that lesson for herself, because you must meet people where they are at, right? If you are at a 5 or a 10 and you meet somebody at a 1, right? The capacity for you to relate to them, and you have to be able to speak the same language as someone to a degree within a margin of 1 to 2 variations of experience to be able to help that person take the next step, right? To take that step to where you are or to one step past where you are. You want to be a stepping stone. Somebody can't jump from step 1 to step 5. They got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Because when we try to take shortcuts, that we inevitably polarize ourselves too much, and we find ourselves going back to stage 1. Um, I'm really proud of you, Chelsea. That's a beautiful share. Thank you. A lot to be learned from that for all of us. Honor your boundaries. For me, this week has been filled with wins and celebration and vitality. I've gotten probably a month and a half worth of work done. I've been so empowered, like as a visionary, and for this business, for what we're doing, for this community, for this mission above all else, that I've just been sat in my bed on my computer joyously, like high on dopamine, just getting it done, just putting in the practical stuff. I've just been so joyously empowered. And maybe it's riding this full moon high, but I said, fuck it. I don't know why. I'm not going to pretend to know why I feel like this right now. I'm just going to do it and I'm not going to fight it. All right. Like, just truthfully go with the flow, you know? willpower is a finite resource, and so is motivation. So don't stifle yourself when you get it. Act on it, even if that means staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Sometimes it just needs to move through you, and you have to let it run its course. And I'm really proud of myself for the first time, not resisting it. There's an Emerson quote, and this is the relationship is here. My old wound is that I tried to cure my ADHD with rigidity, with excess discipline, with all of these behaviors and biohacking routines and fucking measuring my day to the second of what I was doing each and each step. And there was a time where that polarity of that masculine discipline was very important for my practice, and it taught me a lot. But I realized that I also sacrificed a lot of my creative flow doing that. And I'm finding that polarized balance now between how much do I need to thrive? How much structure does my soul need to thrive? Versus how much am I forcing on myself because of what I've been taught? What I've been told by other people is what is best, may not inherently in its entirety be what is best for me in my expression. Right? Just this whole learning curve. All right. So instead of 8 p.m. every single night, boom, phone goes off with seamless rigidity, I'm like, I'm fucking inspired. I can't sleep. I'm gonna put on my red light glasses and I'm gonna cook, and I cook until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I wake up, I'm like, huh, wow, I feel great. I'm gonna get back to work. Like, don't fight it. You know, when inspiration strikes, just let it move through you. Something is trying to be created through you. So let it create. Don't stifle yourself. Right? That is the force of God, of inspiration moving through you. When you feel inspired, follow your bliss, Joseph Campbell style. That's what it's about. Follow your bliss. And to put a bookend on this, Emerson says, consistency, a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by philosophers, statesmen, and divines. With consistency, a great soul has nothing more to do than concern himself with his shadow on the wall, right? And then it moves into, so don't be afraid to contradict yourself. So what if I contradict myself? I am vast. I contain multitudes. Speak in firm words today what you are, and speak in firm words again tomorrow, everything that the day brings. Don't be afraid to adapt, to change, to meet the world and meet your soul where it's at, so that you can bring your greatest gifts to the world. So yeah, hard part though has been simply, honestly, this has been a week seldom met with suffering, and I am so grateful for that. And it's only not been suffering because I've stopped resisting. Stopped resisting what is. That's surrender. When you stop resisting. So it's been a really good week. A very beautiful week. And I'm honored, as always, to be here with you all. So that's my share. Magic, thank you for holding the space, each and every one of you. It's always so beautiful to show up and share. I'm going to pass it to Leo.
I'm sorry, I just want to share something with you before I drive on. Is it okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You were relaxing while meditating, and I was driving on these narrow roads in Norway. And I'm going to try to show you the fjords I'm driving past, okay?
Yes, please.
Oh, this is obviously not my strong suit. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh my
driving through
God.
Hardanger in Norway, and you have the snow up in the mountains there. I don't know if you see them.
Indeed.
But I'm going over the mountains now afterwards.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just wanted to share that with you before I jump back in the car.
Thank you so much for taking a moment to share. That's incredible.
The roads are insane. Like there's only room for 1.5 car. So you
Where
just
are
have
you
to keep
headed?
it. I'm born on the west side of Norway, and that's by the coast. But I live across the mountains, so I'm going over Hardangervidda. That's the national park on top of the mountains. So yeah,
Wow.
it's quite a drive. It's like without a stop, it's like oh fuck. Do you hear me now?
Got you. You're good.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. When if I drive non-stop, it takes like 4.5 hours to drive from the coast and up to the mountains in the middle of Norway. Norway, yes, okay. I'm stressed. I'm trying to reach back home to my kids, so I'm kind of just focusing on the road. But yeah, it's a beautiful place actually. So I thought, oh, I have to show this. It's beautiful, it's warm, it's sunny. Well, it's kind of unusual for this time in Norway to be that kind of in spring mode. So yeah.
Well, thank you for the share. I definitely feel the warmth of the sun coming through. I appreciate that a bit.
So my car is old and noisy, so I'm gonna start driving again, and I'm just gonna keep on listening to you guys. So thank you for just being around and sharing your good emoji. Good emojo, it's mojo.
I like
Yes.
Imancho. That's actually very fun. Drive safe, please. And I love your pink window tint in the van. I've never seen that before. That's so cool. You get the love van, you get the mystery machine. All right. Pass it back over to you, Leo. How are you doing, hun? It's great to see you.
Well, I've kind of crawled back under my rock again.
Crawled out from under your rock.
Yeah.
It's good to see you out from under the rock. You getting some good sun.
Well, that's actually pretty funny because I was forced to stay inside for like 2 months because of my hay fever. And the trees are finally done blossoming. So Mother Nature's not angry at me anymore. So I'm like and we've had the most wonderful spring ever, and I couldn't enjoy it. So I'm really taking every little sun ray in. Yeah. So I'm kind of coming back from that. But it's quite interesting because what you shared about like I completely recognize the whole like if the energy's there, just take it and just go. But for me, the past week it's been kind of reversed because normally well, not normally, I'm just lately really trying to not go into fight or flight mode and like disappear into my work, which has always been my strategy. But yeah, it's so interesting because on one hand, all the ideas are flowing and I've got like a lot of work to do. But at the same time, it's also a bit about receiving because I had like some beautiful projects coming in, but I was kind of sabotaging the start of them, which which is interesting because well, I'm not that's where it gets tricky. I'm just not sure if it's sabotaging or if it's me finally learning to go with the flow, which also means slowing down and not doing everything the second someone asks me. But a big win, by the way, is that my co-working space had its 1 year anniversary last week. And there just keep coming in new people, and they're all so wonderful because even this afternoon I was in the garden and I had a conversation with one of the women that work there, and she was talking about the tapping and the EFT. So that's also with Chelsea, just like a full circle. But yeah, so that's all been amazing. And it's funny because all those things are kind of like just going and they're just working out. And I'm just here having quite some trouble receiving the fact that it's all going very smoothly and that I'm allowed to slow down and to just feel, which, yeah, I think that's the big challenge. Just showing up to these calls as well, but also like my body's so tired, and I still somewhere there's like a little voice saying, no, you need to get back. When I hear you talk about that you have this amazing focus, I'm like, I need it too. I need to be more productive. But right now, me doing less is even more productive. But I just.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so interesting. it's basically for the first time ever that I'm just completely like breaking down this pattern.
Mm.
And it's contradicting and conflicting everywhere, but we are just taking it one day at a time, basically. Yeah. So even all the plans I got in my head and all the things are cooking up and my old big pot and soup, it's all cooking and brewing, but I'm just not trying to force. I think that's the main thing. Just not trying to force. So
Love,
yeah.
love is really the only force that you need. It's the ultimate universal
Yeah.
force. You share something very important, Leo. And when we start feeling like we need, right? We have to remember, come back. The ego goes, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this now, right? To continue perpetuating that identity. Now we're in this university. Remember, it's not the woo-woo spirituality where it's all fucking love and light. We have to ground this with practical action and discipline. And sometimes we must double down and recommit to doing what we said we would do, right? Because that is also what we need. It's following your heart in that way. But it's important to understand that you will swing from efficiency and productivity to rest and recovery, right? And it is the intensity of both of those dips that allows you to come back. So you go into extreme productivity, you create the space for it, and then you go deep rest. Productivity, deep rest. Productivity, deep rest. Right? And it's not depressed where you stay down here. It's instead of going like this, realistically, you want to go like this, perpetually going up so that you create the space and oscillate for that deep rest. Because if your body can learn, I'm going to have space to rest, it gives you the space to focus at a higher level. Right? And one thing I've learned is that there was a 3 month period where I couldn't do anything.
Hmm.
I was unproductive as fuck, and it's because my why was unclear. When you start getting clear on why you're about to take action on the thing, all of a sudden this force of divinity moves through you, and it's like, okay, you feel the why power in that thing, and it drives you to lean in. But make sure that you logically tell the ego and the body, at this time, I'm going to rest. And if when that time comes, you either honor your commitment and you stop, or if you feel inspired, you keep moving. Right? It's the if then. If at this time I'm exhausted, I know I can stop at this time. If at this time I'm still inspired, then I will keep working. Right? You have to give the body a tangible option. Right? So this, you can look to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like taking away the judgment.
Exactly. Surrender. I'm proud of
No
you.
matter what.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's basically I think that's my main word of life right now, surrendering to whatever. To if it's focus, then it's focus. If it's rest, then it's rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just trying to not go insane in the meanwhile.
As as Jung said, one of the most honorable things that we can do is to lose our mind.
Yeah,
The
that's
people
so.
admire those who lose their mind. It's funny, isn't it? Proud of you, Leo. Chelsea said this. She's been using this intention, quote, I lead with aligned action and grateful trust. Sometimes that action is doing,
Yeah.
and sometimes that action is being. But in both circumstances, choose trust.
I'm gonna write that one down, Chelsea. Thank you.
Beautiful. All right,
Yeah.
throw that flaming potato at somebody, Leo.
Were you gonna out potato someone or me? What do you
Oh, you
say?
you get to
Oh,
choose.
me. Well, I
Queen
would
on fire.
like to hear from Veronique.
Um, I really haven't had time to reflect on my wins. Um, I think it's finding I've kind of been in this like a limbo of transitioning my work. And I think I find like the clarity of where I'm going and what I'm aiming to do with intention. And that became really clear this week. Trying to like piece it together with what I already do. So I think, yeah, that was a really big win. That was a really big win.
That's the biggest win you could possibly have. Finding your
Yeah,
target is the most important part of the journey. If you don't know what you're aiming for, then you're wasting your energy and just throwing it everywhere. Celebrate that. That's amazing.
you. I knew where I was aiming. I just didn't know how to incorporate it into like my actions.
There you go.
That makes sense. So just a minute, Nora, okay? And I think my biggest struggle is like getting hooked up on little itty bitty details that keep derailing me. Like finding a new name for my page has been stopping me from actually doing the page. And it's like it can't be changed. I feel like if I have to do it, then it's permanent and it puts a lot of pressure. But really, I can go and change the name of the page. It's really not a big deal. So yeah, getting hooked up on little details that keeps derailing. But I think bringing awareness to it, being aware that you're doing it, brings me back in track. So that's my win and my struggle for this week.
Beautiful. You're going to shoot me a text after this call by the end of the day latest with a screenshot of your new page. Okay?
Ugh.
Choose a
Okay.
name. Shit, run it. Break the inertia. Okay?
That's so funny because me and Veronica were both on Wednesday's content creation call with Alex,
Mhm.
and I think I challenged Veronica to make a video about the meaning behind the dragonfly logo of your page. So I'm wondering if you made that video because I really want to see it.
In my defense, in my defense, daycare actually closed down, so I've had my kids like nonstop, so I haven't had time, but it is on my to-do list.
Have you ever thought
So if
about
you want,
making videos as a mom with your kids all over you?
Small details, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful aspect of you, and it's one of your most powerful aspects. Embrace it and love all of you. I'm proud of you for your wins. Those are some big realizations. And don't get stuck on the small things, girl. You got this. You got this. Break the inertia. All right, throw the potato at somebody.
Joanna.
Hello. You guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. It's good to see you, girl.
Likewise, likewise. Um, Wins for this week. I was commissioned for another pretty large batch, 12-pound batch of soap, natural shampoo from the same customers that commissioned the previous batch that I spoke on last week. So now this is two batches that I've been commissioned for, and I've been like stagnant with that side for about probably 2 years now. So it's really good for that momentum to start picking up. And then they buy them outright and resell them. And then I had another company contact me to sell my bars. So they would take like a portion off the top, and then I get the balance. And that happens when the bars sell. So I got another 2 orders for that. So that's been pretty cool to get that flowing, a little bit unexpected. And then struggles, I suppose taking care of my physical body. So basic things like just staying hydrated. I'm finding myself not keeping up with that, and properly fed. As much as I love to eat, it's not necessarily a thing that I'm thinking of. And so if I'm not thinking of it, it just doesn't happen until like the next day when I'm like, oh, I feel a little thirsty, but thirst is a late sign of dehydration, or I haven't eaten in a day or something like that. So just trying to manage better care of my physical body has been a bit of a challenge.
And congratulations on the orders.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what does that bring to you? How do you have to show up for that? How are you showing up for them?
All of them I infuse with herbs. And so I like to be in a specific mental space to do that because there's an exchange of energy that goes on there. So it kind of, I don't want to say forces me, but it gets me into a meditative space that is extended, that I think I really need at this time versus like a half-hour meditation. I mean, the soaking process is a good 3 to 5 hours from mixing to actually cooking. So it's able to sustain a longer meditative space. And I think I really needed that right now.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. Well, I would love to know where I could find some of your soap, actually.
I can definitely send you some.
You
I
don't
have to
have
get
send me
my
some, send me a link.
website stuff back up. I had that up for a while and I let it go. But I have the domain and whatnot. I guess, have to go through GoDaddy or something like that and get that reinstated.
Beautiful. Well, I look forward to hearing how your little soap empire expands. Weeks.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And in regards to your physical body as well, just leaving this call, what needs to be done? What can you do to reduce the friction from you taking those actions as much as possible, whether that be leaving a full jug of water on your desk?
Yeah.
Like reduce the friction and make it visible, as easy as possible to see and interact with, right? Just
because I think I'm a bit of a water snob where if it's not clean water, if it has fluoride and all that, I just don't want any part of it. And so I can't even, the easy accessible water is not water I would really want to drink. So I think, yeah, getting easy access to water that I would want to drink, and not, I guess, sabotaging myself in that way of just like, it's not there and available, so I'm not going to reach out for it.
Yeah. And then when it comes to your inner state and your mental state, hydrating yourself is the fundamental most important thing that you can do, period.
Yeah.
We're practically guaranteeing ourselves a depressed state if we're dehydrated.
Yeah.
So take that into your hands. Take the agency for that. I'm proud of you, Joanna. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you very much.
I light somebody on fire.
Let's say Petra. Am I saying that correct?
Yes. Hello, guys.
Hello.
So it's really frustrating for me that I can't turn my camera on, but it's okay. So I recently started my new Instagram page, and I have never been so consistent with anything in my life. I'm posting every single day. And I'm actually surprised because I got already like 800 views. So this is what I'm doing at the moment.
It's a great start. How long have you been consistently posting on the page?
Since the 27th of April.
So you've posted every day since then?
Yes.
Beautiful. I would love if you sent me that in our personal chat so I could check out your page and what you've been up to.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
anything else to celebrate this week?
not really. I'm looking forward for the end of the month because I'm going on vacation with my mom. And yes, I can celebrate that I am paying for everything. And this was always my dream.
Be able to just pay for the vacay. I love that. That is something indeed to be proud of. I'm sure your mom is very grateful.
Yes. So I'm gonna pass it.
Before you go, Petra.
Yeah.
Working through right now.
What?
Is there anything pressing you right now? Anything that you're working through? Anything that you feel needs a little bit of work or some attention?
I know what I have to do, but on the side, I'm at the middle of deciding whether to move from the place I am or to stay. So this has been on my mind for weeks now.
What is that evoking in you emotionally?
I feel like this is like a coping mechanism like when life gets hard or something happens, I just wanna leave.
Mm. Do you feel that's what you need in this situation? Is your environment dampening your power?
Yes, because it's kind of toxic place.
Mm. Of course, weigh the circumstances in your mind, but always remember you owe it to yourself to give yourself the best shot at joy, at peace that you can. You owe it to no one to sacrifice that presence. You can only serve this world the greatest when you have the greatest power of presence. And sometimes that means taking space. I'm proud of you for seeing that.
Mm. Thank you, Justice.
Big love, Petra.
Big
Thank you.
love to you.
All right, pass it over.
Jordan?
Ah, all right. Yeah, it's been a rough week. I had a really good weekend last weekend and then immediately got like hit by um unexpected relationship issues. So, I mean, I've been having some issues with my girlfriend. We've been working on it. And then I went away on a retreat. We weren't talking because I was just trying to disconnect from technology while I was on the retreat. And then I came back and she had me blocked and apparently decided to break up with me. And now we haven't really been able to talk since then. I don't really know what's going on, but that was pretty brutal to come back from after like an amazing weekend to immediately just be like punched in the stomach by that. Um, so yeah, I had a few days coming back from that. And I also got sick last week, so I was like dealing with allergies or like a cold or something and being sad. So that's kind of what I've been working through. That's the negative. I guess my big win for last week, other than the retreat going great, was I didn't let myself I let myself be sad for a few days, but it's not I'm not being destroyed by this happening. I'm picking up the pieces and continuing to work on myself. I really can't afford at the stage I'm at with working on myself and healing and trying to get some stuff going with my personal business and the courses here. I'm in multiple courses. I really can't afford to just fall apart and lose all the progress I've made because of things like this happening. So, um, yeah, and I'm still getting some waves of sadness. I'm trying not to like suppress it. I'm letting myself feel, but I'm also not letting it completely derail me and the progress I've made and staying focused, continuing to do my coursework and get the most out of my days. Woke up early this morning. It's the time I want to, which has been a big struggle for me. Getting up on time and getting a head start on my day. Um, so yeah, those are my wins. Oh, I also wanted to say thank you, Justice, for the Emerson quote and the reminder of that, of the consistency versus flexibility. I needed that reminder for sure, especially from Heroic. A big part of the reason I fell off of Heroic years ago was because I feel like I was over applying the discipline and the masculine and so hearing you put that into words of your experience and now me starting to find that balance for myself again, that was really really useful reminder. So thank you for that. Because I definitely do need some structure. I've learned that, I'm coming from having no structure and starting to build up some amount of routine again, and it is helpful. But yeah, you got to find that balance and stay flexible. So yeah, I think that's what I wanted to express for now.
Bro, damn. You got some shit moving, bro. You really, really do. You mind if we take a look at what's going on with that whole retreat experience and then your past partner just what was that retreat experience like for you? Because you said it was beautiful. You said it was beautiful time. What emotionally did you move through in that experience? Any wins from that?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really just been a continuation of what I've already been working on, which is being aware of and purging a lot of fears and noticing when different fears come up and kind of separating myself, being just observing them and often taking action into doing whatever the thing is I'm afraid of anyway to prove to my nervous system that it's okay and that we can, do these things that we're afraid of. It was a ketamine experience. Honestly, from the journey itself, I didn't get too much outside of, again, it was just more reaffirming the path that I'm on and what I'm working towards, and spending time with all my other classmates in this beautiful, uh, house up in upstate New York, doing lots of other meditative practices and learning about energy and spirituality from my teacher. And this is the last retreat that we're going to get to spend together for this year-long class that I'm in with them. So it's just really nice to connect with them more and be out in nature and spend some time in the woods. And yeah, just all that. I mean, we did so many different practices. I don't even wouldn't even know which one to specifically go into, in
Well,
addition to the ketamine. But
what I wanted to point the finger at is that we're in this accelerated stage of development now, where us, the individuals who are warriors of this new earth, right? As the we'll call it the inherent strength, the magnetism of this new age calls something forth from us, the less time the things that are stifling us will be allowed to remain in our experience. All right, so you went in, you got into this elevated state, you're like, boom, upgrade in my level of consciousness, right? As you polarize to that, anything that's no longer in coherence with you, the polarity's flipped and they're getting pushed away. And for you, while you were on that experience, for that to be so forcefully ejected out of your life, to me, that's your highest self standing up here going,
yeah, I mean, she's taught me a lot about my spiritual path, and I owe her a lot for getting me to where I am and even back on my path in my healing journey. And so, again, I know what problems we've been having. We've been working on it, but we were in a pretty good place when I left for the retreat. And I don't know if we're gonna get back together, if she's gonna give me a chance to talk to her about it. I mean, she's right now in the stage of like, yeah, no, this is done. The damage has been done. We still love each other, but and I was definitely in that desperate grasping state of like, no, like, come on, like, but now I'm just kind of like, all right. I don't honestly don't think it's the right choice for us. I think we can do a lot together. I think that we have a really good relationship if we just work through some of the issues. But if that's what she's going to stick with, um, I'm just gonna accept it, be objective about it. Again, I know I still have a lot of stuff going for me. And even if I don't necessarily agree with it or think that it's the best for us both long term, if that's what it's gonna be, so be it. And I'm just, again, focusing on my stuff. Yeah, trusting the universe. Again, if this is what the universe has in store for me, or there's someone else out there that's not her, then I'm just gonna, yeah, stay focused on what I'm doing and trust whatever's happening. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if our relationship has run its course yet, or if there's more to come. But I've definitely had the thought, and I'm still digesting it, I guess. But
there is a lot to process there. All of the relationships and their beginnings and ends are the most potent learning experiences in life, just as the beginning and the ending of life around us, from the people we care about, from our parents to our partners to our grandparents. It's always those cycles that teach us the absolute most. Now, I would like to take just a second here to share. I've This 21-year-old has been through way more relationships than he probably should have, a lot of really intense ones. And I was in a relationship with my past partner, for 3.5 years, and it ended for the first time with the opportunity to continue being friends and in full respect, right? And there was a passage that I read to her while we were moving through this process that really, really summed it up. And I wish I could find the exact passage here, but I will abbreviate it for you. Oh, maybe I did find it. Here we go. Make space for this for a second. This has permanently changed my life. Often, this is from the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Often, when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. You only see what you want to see, and you deny that there are things that you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make assumptions. And one of the assumptions is, quote, my love will change this person. But this is not true. Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it is because they want to change, not because you can change them. Then something happens between the two of you and you get hurt. Suddenly you see what you didn't want to see before, and now it is amplified by your own emotional poison. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for your choices. We don't need to justify love. It is there or not there. Real love is accepting people the way that they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means that we don't really like them. And of course, if you decide to live with someone, if you make that agreement, it is always better to make that agreement with someone who is already exactly the way you want him or her to be. So find someone whom you don't have to change at all. It is much easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be instead of trying to change that person. Also, that person must love you just the way that you are. So he or she does not have to change you at all. Because if others feel that they have to change you, that means they don't really love you just the way you are. So why be with someone if you're not the way that he or she wants you to be? We have to be what we are, so we don't have to present a false image. If you love me the way that I am, okay, take me. If you don't love me the way that I am, okay, bye-bye. Find someone else. It may sound harsh, but this kind of communication means that personal agreements we make with others are clear and impeccable. Be true to who you are.
Yep. Yeah, very relevant. Definitely lots of concepts I've been thinking about and considering, and some new ones too to digest. So thank you for that.
Big love, brother. Thank you for making the space to be seen. I'm proud of you for moving
Of
through
course.
this. Remember, it's all for you, brother. It is all for you.
Absolutely.
Shoot me a text, all right, man?
Yeah, we'll do, brother.
All right, throw that potato, big dog.
Sounds good. Let's see. Hmm, how about Lou?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure. Um, a big win this week. I went to I might never surf again to actually surfing. So that was a big step from thinking that I would never be able to do it because fear was blocking me to actually get kicked out of this retreat and being like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to this surf school, and even if it's just white waves, I'm just gonna stand on that surfboard and do it. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I went the next day as well. And go surfing, guys. That's the real life. So yeah, that's the win. And well, the stuff I'm going through are really messy and deeply personal. So I'm not gonna go into details. I just um, maybe anybody in the field has some guidance. Just as you said, like when you have this flow of godliness coming through you, and you just have to let it through, and there is this deep wound that my childhood trauma are related to the godliness because of the attractiveness of it, and that the godliness, this essence, this light, even if I know I've chosen that path, I know it's all for me. There is kind of an abusive relationship with the human that I used to be, or the human I am, and I'm stuck. It might be a limiting belief. And also what Chelsea said about we're not here to save anybody. I've been working on myself a really long time alone, and I've been working on myself with people, and I just feel this huge sadness and this huge cycle of ah yeah, don't really have words for it. It's just ah and and yeah, it's tiring, and I do trust, I do believe, but it's painful as well in the body. There is a lot of suffering from it. Um and so yeah, that's my day to day. And I do see the wins, and I really want to embrace them. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that's a win. Let's move on. And I can't really celebrate. So nothing really tastes like, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys. This is me today.
We love you exactly as you are, Lou. I'm really proud of you because you spoke last week about the surfing and not, and that fear. And you went out and you faced it this week. That's incredible. Like, really acknowledge that. The feeling of that growth and expansiveness. Yes, I did it. That's like me. Hold on, hold on. I actually did it. Wait, hold on. I actually did it. You do that as many times as you have to in the present moment until you get so excited and blissed out at the irony of the universe that you just start laughing and crying. Wait, hold on, hold on. I did it. I did it. I did it. I made the choice. Really feel into that. That's fucking like me. Yes. Because every time you make that choice, it is a magnificent act of the divine to expand again. Every ounce of growth came from the will of the divine to expand and not be controlled by fear. Do you see how important that is? Think about that. Really feel into that. It will serve you well, Lou, to remove the word can't from your vocabulary. God does not say can't. You are a fractal of that divine. You are simply an aspect, right? An aspect means part of the same thing, not segmented or separate, but part of. We are all different aspects of the divine, expressing ourselves uniquely. So celebrate that intense divinity moving through you and do not stifle yourself. You said it. What you were thinking was a limiting belief. You acknowledge that on the spot. Oh, I said I can't. Oh, that's a limiting belief. It's as simple as be in the moment to choose. And when the mind comes in, okay, I hear you. All right, I'm going to choose again. I feel the resistance. Okay, I'm going to choose again and again and again and again, recommitting to being that highest version of you, closing the gap between who you're capable of becoming and who you currently are over and 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 over until it becomes your natural state. But you have to make the choice moment to moment to recommit to being that person that celebrates. It's not you can't celebrate. You're not choosing in the moment to fixate your mind upon the magnanimity that is the beauty of what you should be celebrating. So celebrate. How does that feel?
Yeah, I hear you. It feels funny. It feels real, but it feels
It's funny, isn't it?
yeah, it does feel funny. It's like you make things so easy when you speak. That's why I'm here as much as I can on Monday night. It's just like you making it easy, and for an hour and a half, I just I breathe into that vibration, and I tap into it, and I mirror it, and I'm gonna come as much as I need to come so that my inner self is just mirroring your light. And then I shared with Nihal, it's when we cut off the call, when I wake up the next day, when it's just sometimes the gap between one and the other is just really hard to integrate. And that's okay. It's just gonna get through it again and again and again, as you said. And yeah, it's a practice. But I'm here, I'm alive, I'm living, and as you can see, I'm smiling, crying a little bit at the same time, but that's all good. That's just all an expression of love, and I'm welcoming all of it. And yes, thank you for the space, thank you for the support, thank you yeah, for being.
Mm. I'm so proud of you. Remember, you've got the power. That's all you need to know. You've got the power of choice. I'm proud of you, Lou. Thank you for showing up to this space, and it feels very nourishing to be acknowledged like that as well. So thank you for that. It is very fun for me. I thoroughly enjoy getting to hang out with all of you. It is such a joy. It really is. All right, throw that potato.
Um, May, May, I don't know. Can you can you hear us?
I think that might just be her note taker
Hmm.
because it looks like it's
Oh,
recording. Yeah.
so ni hao then.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Welcome,
Hmm.
Tom, my good brother.
Thank you. I guess win and Lou. Well, for the win, last week on the call, I expressed kind of the wound that I currently share with my mother. Um, but some things have unraveled this week, and very interestingly, we actually decided as a mother and a son to get a counselor on board. I've actually been trying to for a long time, but they were very apprehensive of it. And this time around, my mom only suggested it. So I thought that was a beautiful place to start. And we were on this call, and in the call, I realized that most of the conversation was kind of like I'm explaining my side, she's explaining her side. I feel like I'm just sharing this because I feel like we tend to do this, especially in interpersonal relationships all the time, where we're looking at it from this is what I feel, this is what I feel, this is what I feel, right? And then the therapist actually texted me on the side saying it was a remote call, but she texted me on the side and she was like, I want you to pause and make this space only for your mom. Don't feel personally attacked. Don't feel like whatever she says, the space is not for you, it's for her. And that just changed something in my chemistry. And so then for the next 90 minutes, all I did was listen. And my mom shared a lot of things that felt manipulative, like she was just saying shit about me and how I did this. Half of it's not like whatever, maybe I agree with it, I don't agree, but that wasn't the point. Suddenly, I didn't let my ego get hurt. I
Hmm.
was just like, here's a being. She's not my mother anymore. No, she's just a being sharing what she's going through. And that 90 minutes of just holding space for her as her son, she went from a very aggressive stance to suddenly releasing the layers like an onion, just unpeeling itself, to suddenly breaking down and crying and just sharing how she has sacrificed everything for this family. And long story short, we were immigrant families. We were an immigrant family that moved from the US, sorry, from India to the US. And she traveled with me pregnant while my father was earning money in Germany because we had zero money. We had nothing. So my dad was not even there when I was born. My dad was in Germany. My mom flew to him with me as a 1 month baby. I was on that flight and shit like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but all of that just started coming up, and I just saw her so differently with so much love. And they made it as soon as that call ended. I remember something that I used to do for her as a young child. She loves coffee, and I would just wake up and make coffee and like bring it to her bedside that she would just wake up. It's something that I would do as a kindergarten child, you know. And I was like, holy shit, like that used to be the way I would show love and affection. And I haven't done this in a while. I've just been so into like do this, you know. 90 minutes, she just shared, opened up, a lot of things felt triggering, but again, I didn't take it personally. And then after that call ended, I just immediately gave her a hug. I made her some coffee, and something changed. And I think it was a reflection and something that was really important for me, also in the journey that I hold as, you know, holding space for men with the work that I do, and just me on my own healing journey is that, you know, especially for the relationships that you hold really, really close to you, it's so easy to, you know, to attach and forget those lines. But you know, on your healing journey, it's really important. Something that comes out to me in this entire thing that just happened is the law of karma. And the law of karma states, you know, if you get, you receive what you give. And if you don't like what you are receiving, then change what you give. And in that moment, I actually changed what I was giving. I wasn't looking at it with this lens anymore. I was just free, and I just held space, and it created a ripple effect at home. So that was very beautiful. Um, yeah, yeah. For something that's, you know, been a low, um, I'll just take like 30 seconds to share because I don't want to exceed time. But I don't know how many of you guys are aware on like the other sides of the world. But this is the first time I'm actually living through a war in my 28 years of existence. And India, I'm in India currently as I speak, and we were actually attacked like a few weeks ago, and then it retaliated. There was a full-on escalation for about 3 weeks. I'm actually in South India, so I'm in a safe area. But ethnicity wise, the state, like the place that I'm from, is Rajasthan. Rajasthan is the border state of Pakistan and India, and some of the towns that I have grown up in were bombed. We do have a defense system that has neutralized all of the drones, but like I don't want to talk war to you guys, but it's not even about the war. In these 3, 4 days, especially, I've never felt this way before. I've seen war in the news. I've seen other places around the world in conflict, but I've never been in it myself. And being in a situation like that, a few things came up. One, I realized that freedom is not free, and there's a cost to freedom. And we pay the price for freedom every single day. And it is our divine duty to step into that role and being the person you can be, um, that is worth paying the price of freedom for, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And second, um, I just felt so much gratitude and love, um, overwhelm and fear and anxiety as well. But I felt a lot of gratitude and love because I'm safe and I live in a place where I'm privileged. And I don't think we realize sometimes that I have air to breathe, I have water to drink, I have a house to sleep on. And over the past 3 weeks, about 74, 75 people lost their lives, civilians. Um, I cried. I cried 4 or 5 times, and I just want to express my gratitude because I did put up like 1 or 2 stories, and like Lou reached out saying I saw a story and I just want to check in. I just really appreciate that. And I had a call with Justice as well right before this call, and he really shifted something with me as well because I really felt helpless for a second. I really felt like what am I doing living such a privileged life? You know, I'm attending these calls and I'm going to work, but there's a freaking war. People are dying. Like, and Justice sat with me and he said, I wrote this down, so I'm just going to read it. Those who fight for our freedom give us the freedom to fight for a better world. And so it was a reminder that as they fight for freedom for us, it is also my responsibility to fight for a better world. And essentially, I think that is what all of us are doing here in the new earth. And so I just want to extend love to all of you guys for showing up to make this world a better place and being people worth fighting for. Like I would fight for all of you guys. So that's it. Thank you.
I love you, Paul. I really do, bro. You are such a remarkable soul. That was potent, bro. That was really potent. You've got some love in the chat, so I suggest you go soak that up.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for just holding space and really just yeah, just being here.
What if that's what we're for, bro? I want to acknowledge something you shared about your mom and that whole interaction. You said fundamentally the most important thing that any of us can learn when it comes to becoming not becoming an obstacle for healing for other people and to ourselves, right? Not taking things personally. Don't take it personally. You must take this as law. Tattoo it on your brain, please. It is the fundamentally most important thing that I literally took from this. Of course, all of you know by now, the Four Agreements is practically my fucking Bible, as is Tolle's New Earth and all of the wisdom from these great teachers. But not taking something personally, you have permission to do that. You really do. And you have to grant yourself that permission to realize that the only responsibility you have is to be a clear mirror of love. Because if you give love, and you don't get love back, then someone else is projecting their distortions onto you. And you have the responsibility you also have the choice to know that it is not your responsibility to control how they respond, only to control yours and to lead by example. And if how, just like you said, you want to change what you're getting, change what you're giving. Lead by example. You want to change something in someone, be the eyes of compassion if you want compassion. Be that. Be the listener if you want to be listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And let them see their own distortion in the purity of you, the reflection of your love, and the glint in your eyes, the absence of fear and judgment, looking upon them in their strife. Be the eyes of compassion. I'm really proud of you, bro. That takes a lot. That's the who said this? I think it was oh, it was one it was a more modern, this is a more modern quote. It was like, you want to see how enlightened you really are? Go spend a weekend with your family.
Ram
Yeah.
Dass, I believe.
Oh, yay, thank you. There you go. I appreciate it, Jordan. Yeah, I know you saw that one on Heroic with me too.
Big Ram Dass guy. He's my boy.
I'm about to dive into some Ram Dass here in the coming months. But it's really like that. We get into these soul contracts with our family members.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking because those are the biggest karmic wounds that we need to heal. So when you look at your family, you should go, ah, my enlightenment. Thank you for all of the beautiful challenges that you're giving me. I appreciate them so much because it's exactly what I asked for. Wow, you're really being a bitch right now. That's a great, that's a great challenge. Like, how do I maintain composure and compassion? Like, it's going to have a visceral reaction in the physical body. It always will, right? No matter how far you walk on your journey, you will find out if you still have work to do when you go and see how your family triggers you or the judgments that process in your mind, right? Until you can truly learn to look upon the world without the eyes of judgment, no matter how much you think you've landed, you won't know until you go and spend some real time with your family. Who is
Absolutely.
I want to just say something right there, though,
Please.
because this is something that I is really important, especially when I work with women. I see this a lot that when you start to, like many of us, like understand our internal triggers and start to be really like empathetic with where they come from and identifying the roots, you will project that onto other people. So you'll start to see like Nahan, when you're listening to your mom, you're like, wow, these roots go way deeper. It's not me. Like these roots are really in there. That's beautiful. And that is definitely something that can help your understanding of someone else's inner experience. But at the same time, don't allow that to be a bypass, like an empathetic bypass for your boundaries, because you need boundaries as well. Like you, as the human experience, like we can't just let people stomp all over us because we can see where that comes from, like where that behavior is coming from, and we empathize with it. Like, yes, I do. I'm really sad for you that you experience it in this way, but you're also really projecting your inner experience on me. And I need boundaries to make sure that like I am whole here and that you're respecting my boundaries. It's a
Yeah.
super important thing to remember.
That's so beautiful. In fact, I think that's something that I've been really working on. Unfortunately or fortunately, in a cultural setting like India, there's one rule that my mom keeps telling me: there are no boundaries in family. So that's I can just yeah, it's a funny thing to talk about boundaries in a family setting in a cultural place like India, especially where we have things like joint families, and we have a lot of ties with even just a larger extended family living together and things like that. I don't have my extended family living with us, but I am working on that, and I completely agree with you. In fact, I'd love to maybe just drop in with you later and just talk about that a little bit more as well. Thank you.
That's why you're a master, Chelsea. That was such an amazing share. Damn. Ooh, this has been a very potent call today. We have 5 minutes left. If anybody in particular wants to share, now is the opportunity for you to raise your hand. if we haven't gotten to you yet. I know today has been very free flowing, but I love just getting to do that in these calls and give everybody the floor and a chance to be witnessed on Monday. So feel free to
Can I
raise.
just share one thing really quick? Just I wanted to share this earlier actually. But Chelsea, when you message on the group saying that you use this intention, I lead with aligned action and graceful trust. I think that's so beautiful. In fact, I was actually studying a little bit of the Bhagavad Gita recently, and so if anybody knows like Vedic sciences, there's this term called karma yoga. So yoga means action. So when we actually practice yoga, it's like the action. Karma yoga is nothing but oh, sorry. Yoga is the union. Karma is the action. My bad. I flipped it around. So it's basically action in union with your spirit, which is what karma yoga actually means. So when you take aligned, purposeful action in line with your true spirit at your highest level, is what karma yoga is all about, which is exactly what you um, messaged. So that just really resonated for me because that's something that I just read and picked up and working on as well. It's just taking aligned action with my spirit, with my aligned self, higher self. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
We're really in resonance there. That is actually a meditation that I do with my solar plexus as well. You know, the solar plexus, so many manifesting coaches and things like that really try to tap into that power, and they're like, use that force, like to force, you know, the universe to give you what you want. And I just call bullshit on that. Like I just don't think that that is how you use that. And when meditating with my solar plexus, very much it's exactly that. And I actually use the word yoke. So yoking, like that union with the universe, so that the action that I'm taking is in tandem. Like it is a co-creation. It's not just from me. Like it's very much in that flow of my higher self and what the universe is pouring into me. And yeah, I think that's so important to know that it's we're weaving those energies together. It's not just a force that a lot of people have kind of, I don't know, corrupted it into being. But yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm in constant awe by how much I learn from all of you. It's really incredible. Like you're such beautiful minds, every single one of you. Wow. Wow, God, this space is so special. It's so special. Thank you for that, Chelsea. Yeah. Yeah, it's not force. It is a force, but it does not need to be forced. The force does not need to be forced. It is simply its natural state of creation, right? It's just you don't have to bend the universe to your will. You are the universal will. So it just bends. Very subtle reframe. That's really powerful, Chelsea. Thank you. All weaving. I hope everybody learned some massive takeaways today. I know I certainly did. This was a really beautiful session to get to spend with all of you, and I most certainly look forward to doing this next week. This call is going to get a little framing upgrade and just as a little state of the nation for everybody. This month has been, I know everything has kind of been mellow inside of the community, but that is because we have been doing copious amounts of internal work. I didn't get to show you Neo today, but I will show you Neo another time. Yeah, there's so much happening and changing right now. We're really laying the foundation as a team to be able to support you at a much, much higher level. We've truthfully been at like a 15-20% output capacity, and I'm sure some of you guys can feel that. Like, where's the intensity? Where's the fire, right? It's coming. It's coming. It really is. And I very much appreciate you bearing with us and being present in this space over the last few months or few weeks or few days, however long you've been here, and bearing with us because we're trying our best to create something beautiful, and we don't want to open the floodgates until we've pressure tested the pipes. You know what I mean? So that we can make sure we can take care of you best. So that's what it's all about. That's what we're doing on the back end. So you can look forward to much more magic here, especially at the turn of the month. Oh, you ain't even ready for it yet, man. I'm telling you, this shit gonna be crazy, man. All right. So I deeply look forward to it. Let's close it out with a little meditation. Everybody's sharing some love in the chat. Love that. Petra saying much love. Love you too, Jordan. Thank you so much. All right, jump to your work call, brother. Let's wrap it up here. Okay. Peace and love, everyone. Let's take one big collective breath. Take a full exhale, really empty the lungs all the way out. 1, 2, 3. Biggest breath you've taken today. More at the top. Big exhale at the side. One more big breath in as deep as you can go. Slow exhale all the way. Coming back to a dignified postured, chest up, chin down, shoulders back. Dignity, feeling of pride, of confidence. Confidere means intense trust in who? In you. Hold that confidence that you have taken today, the clarity on what must be done next. Allow it to empower you. Empower that divine spark within you to do what must be done, to see what must be seen, to feel what must be felt, hear what must be heard, so that we may do what must be done, to live in integrity with our highest good. Right here, right now, moment to moment to moment, today. I love you all. A homecoming it is, indeed, Leo. I will see you all next Monday. If you feel inspired to post a reflection from something you learned inside this call in the community, I would deeply enjoy reading it and probably bliss me out. So I would love to see those if you feel inspired. And on that note, have a blessed rest of your week. Peace and love.